WNBA continues to get the kind of attention they shouldn't want. All right, again, Colin Cowherd is making a point to talk about the WNBA again. He does it now multiple times a week, but only when it comes to one player, or in this case, one player and what it is the rest of the league is doing to her.
Now we're actually having conversations about trading Caitlin Clark. Seriously. Just when Indiana fans began to relax, Colin Cowherd bursts in like a flamethrower, transforming heated opinions into an all-out blaze. Chaos seems to be his specialty. Is he exaggerating? Absolutely. But is there a tiny nugget of truth hidden in all the theatrics? That's where it gets really intriguing and way more complicated.
Pettiness has no bounds. For years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated, and then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. When the wave hits, ride it. They wanted to fly private. They wanted to be more popular. They wanted sold-out arenas. They got it. I wouldn't have guessed that Caitlin Clark would be this.
And here we go again. Watching the WNBA treat self-sabotage like it's part of the game plan. Forget building strong rosters or growing the fan base. They've apparently moved on to orchestrated chaos. Their newest idea? Trade Caitlin Clark like she's a collectible card and call it long-term strategy. As if blowing up the league's biggest star wouldn't spark a full-blown meltdown, not just in Indiana, but across the entire WNBA. This isn't strategy. It's a masterclass in destroying your own momentum.
A university professor in finance looked up the value of Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. This is insane. So this year, last season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was 26.5% of all economic activity as a rookie on the worst team in the league when she entered it. So now she has an 8-year, $128 million deal with Nike. So, you know, she's going to eat. Merchandise in the league went up off a rookie from a Midwest-based school on the worst team in the league, 230.
Let's start with the obvious. Trading Caitlin Clark wouldn't just cripple the Fever. It would blow up the WNBA's only guaranteed moneymaker. This isn't simply about moving a player. It's about wiping out the storylines that keep the league alive. Clark isn't just running the offense. She's carrying a franchise and propping up half the league with her star power. Every packed arena, every sold-out jersey, every media storm bears her mark. Trade her, and you're not rebuilding. You're erasing relevance.
This is clearly them cutting her down, because when you look at fan voting, obviously Clark is one, right? Because she has the most fans in the league. So that clearly biased. You go to the media voting.
She was 3.
She was 3. That actually makes sense.
I agree. She's not having the best of years this year. She's actually, her shooting is down.
Exactly.
There's been a number of situations that she's just not played her best ball. But she is still much, eons better than a lot of the other players that they voted in front of her.
Now imagine taking all that momentum, the sold-out arenas, the soaring ratings, and shipping it off in a cardboard box with a return label. That's not just a bad call. That's franchise suicide. The kind of move that makes fans rage quit, torch their jerseys, and start watching competitive cornhole out of sheer protest. There's reckless, there's absurd, and then there's this, a masterclass in self-destruction sprinkled with pure ridiculousness.
I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents. See, it's no fault of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark balls. She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to like and subscribe. But hold on, it gets even juicier. Not only are we spinning trade rumors like the league has an endless supply of stars to gamble with, but the coaching situation reads like a soap opera plot twist. The same coach who once watched Clark get poked in the eye as if it were halftime entertainment is now conveniently her boss. What's next? Hire the trainer who iced her ankles to run conditioning? This isn't subtle. This isn't coaching. It's a staged performance disguised with lanyards and clipboards. The message is crystal clear. Silence the star, dim the spotlight, all for the team. But everyone sees it. Clark didn't just get benched, she got politically sidelined. And the front office? They didn't just hire a coach. They handpicked the coach, one with a suspiciously familiar track record of selective justice and passive-aggressive benching. Let's be honest, Clark doesn't fit with this coach. That's putting it mildly. Their basketball chemistry is like oil on a dumpster fire. The system isn't just incompatible, it's actively rejecting her. This isn't a clash of styles, it's a cold war in sneakers. And the fallout? It's obvious every time she's pulled from the game while a random benchwarmer racks up minutes like it's a charity event.
Caitlin Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe? Tiger was...
Would a league that finally has fans glued to their screens really pull a stunt like this? It's all about control. Control the narrative. Control the star. Keep the audience entertained, but never empowered. A player with real leverage? That's dangerous. That's disruptive. That's unbenchable. So, what do you do when you can't stop the momentum? You hire someone who can. You slap on a polite smile, label it player development, and call it a day. Meanwhile, the only thing developing is a bad reputation and an angsty fan base armed with receipts. This coach wasn't just hired, she was strategically positioned. And if the conspiracy vibes feel strong, it's because they practically slapped you in the face. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking this is a normal rebuild. This isn't rookie growth. Clark isn't in a development phase. She's in timeout, like a toddler who dared to color outside the lines. Make no mistake, this isn't about basketball. It's personal, strategic, and deeply political. And here's the kicker. Everyone acts like this coach is just playing it safe. Safe would mean using your best scorer, not duct taping her talent and hoping fans don't notice.
She doesn't always get the consistent great star whistle. I think they're still kind of figuring out how to officiate her. Right? Like I've said this for years when I covered Shaq and Shaq got fouled more than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, it was insane. People bounced off Shaq. Jokic complains constantly, like people are bouncing off me. She doesn't quite get as favorable a whistle as you think. So I think
neither does Steph too. That's the funny.
This isn't chess. It's sabotage with a whistle. Everyone sees it. The fans, the broadcasters, Twitter, even the popcorn guy in row 5. Meanwhile, the rest of the league? They'd love to see Clark shipped off like a sacrificial lamb. Imagine the ticket surge if she landed somewhere that actually valued her. Drop her in Vegas and they'd have a statue by Thursday. Send her to New York and she'd be headlining Times Square before practice. Keep her in Indiana under this regime, though, and it's like storing fireworks in a freezer. Nothing's going to explode, and everyone's left disappointed. Yet somehow, there's still this notion that trading her would help the team. Help who? The lottery odds? The backup point guard's confidence? The merchandise team already 2 months behind on Clark jerseys? Spoiler alert, without her, Indiana isn't rebuilding. They're disappearing. Clark is the only reason the franchise even matters.
But we all know who Caitlin Clark is. She's the golden goose, laying those golden eggs for the WNBA to prosper. Well, a lot of times we notice that the WNBA is resisting this golden goose and resisting this bump and this force of nature, which is Caitlin Clark. So we're going to dive deep into that. What's behind that? Is jealousy, envy, pettiness, all the above, more than that? We're going to have to go.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the WNBA's golden goose. Packed arenas, soaring ratings, sold-out jerseys. That's her impact. Yet the league seems intent on sabotaging her, benching her, and hiring a coach with a vendetta, all under the guise of team development. Fans, media, and even casual viewers see it. This isn't strategy. It's political maneuvering. Clark's talent threatens the status quo, so the league is slowly sanding her down, controlling the narrative, limiting her minutes, and stripping her star power while calling it culture building. The result? Ratings drop when she's sidelined. The fans get frustrated, and Indiana risks losing its relevance. Clark is the storyline, the driving force behind the league's growth, yet she's treated like an inconvenient celebrity. Her fan adoration, media buzz, and sheer talent make her unignorable, but the league wants her contained, not celebrated. At some point, Clark may demand a trade to a franchise that actually values her. When that happens, she won't be the villain. She'll be the escape artist, leaving behind a league still pretending this was all part of the plan.